Anger has exploded between the Asian community and the black community after a 14-year-old black teen was killed by an Asian convenience store owner in South Carolina. There's a lot of animosity and anger taking place between the Asian community and the black community after an Asian convenience store owner in South Carolina was acquitted for the killing of a 14-year-old black teenager in 2023. That the teenager supposedly was trying to steal 4 bottles of water. Well, the story I'm getting is that he put the water back, and then the business owner followed the teenager outside the store and shot and killed him. Now, all these other facts I'm not going to get into, as far as, supposedly he was supposed to be pointing the gun at the business owner's son, but the only people that said anything about that was the business owner and the son, and on and on and on. And apparently there were 9 black jurors on the panel. But aside from that, the aftermath, there was a call by the black community to boycott Asian businesses that are located in their communities. And this sparked a fierce backlash from some Asian people. One guy got online and said, "You can't boycott us. We own and make too much for you to boycott us. We make electronics, we own these businesses in your area, the beauty supply places, the nail salons, on and on." And then he basically said, "We don't need your business. We've got our own stuff. We've got Chinatown." So that was one. Then I saw another with a female of Asian descent, ranting and raving, using the N-word, everything. Talking about if the kid was raised right, and just went on some stereotypical digs at the black community. And I was like, wow, this stuff just exploded. Now, I understand where the black community is coming from, because if you go into some majority black areas, they may not have any black ownership of the businesses in their own community. And a lot of times the people that run those businesses don't even live there. They just come in, they do their business, then they go. So effectively, they're taking the currency or the wealth from the black community and distributing it somewhere else. So it sparked a debate about black business ownership and our patronage of non-black businesses. And just for clarity, I've owned multiple businesses during my life, and at least 3 of those had employees. So I had a payroll. So what do we own in the United States as far as business? Let's walk through it. Okay. White-owned businesses that have employees that are paid 80.6%, with about $17 trillion in receipts or revenue. Asian-owned, 11.5%, about $1.2 trillion in receipts. Hispanic-owned, 8.4%, about $730.3 billion in receipts. Black-owned, 3.4%, for about $249 billion in receipts. We're at the bottom of the totem pole on that. Now, we have American Indian or Alaska Native, 0.9%. Native Hawaiian, other Pacific Islanders, 0.2%. Now, when you go to businesses that don't have a payroll, where it's just that person, they may be an independent contractor or what have you, maybe they run a food truck or whatever, black people have about 14.4% in that category. So the question is, how do we increase our business ownership? it's tough. The most business ownership I remember by black people was when I was young and segregation was still in place. And that was a time where we basically had to do business with each other. But we had all kind of businesses that sprung up to support that. We had gas stations, we had grocery stores, we had restaurants, we had dry cleaners, we had laundromats. But after segregation went away, those businesses went away. So in this same town where I saw all of that business activity owned by black people, it's almost non-existent now with the exception of one or two. And that's just it. So having been a business owner, and I'm a business owner now, it just doesn't require a payroll. It's more of a passive business. So it's high startup costs. If you're going to put a restaurant in and you're going to have it, all the way it's supposed to be, it's expensive. Because you've got acquisition of property, whether you're building it or leasing it, you've got build out, you've got all the requirements you have to meet from a regulation standpoint. It's expensive. And in most cases, as a community, we just don't have the capital. And it's hard to access that capital. So what we need to do, if we're going to break free from our patronage of everybody but ourselves, we've got to provide some grace for these people that go into business. No, they may not have the 5-star accommodations, or maybe they do start out of a temporary location and hopefully one day they get a building or a storefront. We've got to expect you're not going to get the aesthetics that you were looking for when you walk in, but if the product is there, then focus on the product. And we can help these black entrepreneurs build, not by lending them money, but by patronizing them and consuming their product or service. In a sense, we got to help them walk before they can run. I saw a video of a large Asian-owned beauty supply grand opening, and it was mobbed by black women all down the aisles. Now, I know there are barriers for other than Asian ownership of these places because the supply chain is almost a closed loop. And if you're not in that group, you can't get those products at the same wholesale prices. So you end up having to charge more. And then it becomes a domino effect. So there are things we got to realize that are barriers in some cases. But we have to get to a point where we own more and we control more and we patronize our own. Because I know what people say. Well, you go out there and open it up and your own people won't even shop with you. And I've heard the other side. I go into stores, they're watching me, they're following me, they're peeping around the corner, see if I'm stealing something, yet we still spend the money at the cash register. This is a sensitive deal and it's exploding. And what's coming out is a level of anger and racism and almost sounds like contempt coming from the people that we are supporting that have businesses in our community. It was amazing. Then, now, after you tell me all that and curse at me and call me the N-word, I'm not going back in there. I mean, I don't know about you, but let me just say this to black women. Your natural hair looks good. Maybe we need to come back to our own standards of beauty and stop trying to emulate. I know that bundle you got in there is not yours. You know it. Just saying.